Hello, I'm Erin Hinton, and this is my final exam project for ECCE 2201-40333. Exceptionalities is the course, and it is taught by Dr. Susan McCoy, and this is from the spring of 2025. My three competency areas and my takeaway: I chose define the teacher's role in working with individuals with special needs, becoming an advocate for the student and their family. This includes assessments, collaboration in developing an IEP, IFSP, or a 504, depending on the student's age range and needs. Also, ensuring that you've created an inclusive classroom environment by being cognizant of what adaptations or accommodations may need to be put in place to facilitate the success for all. And finally, it's important to prepare your students for life beyond the school walls. Curriculum should include basic life skills, and self-sufficiency can integrate at home with the student. My next competency area I chose was identify examples of changes in societal attitudes towards individuals with special needs, including examples of people first language. So I brought up about Rose's Law from 2010, and that's when we replaced the term mental retardation with intellectual disability, and society began to realize and recognize a shift in a more respectful way of referring to individuals with special needs. And then ongoing battles in that area, especially with the current administration. I talk a little bit in there about the idea and doing the full funding act that they just did a couple of weeks ago, where they brought it up in the Senate to try and enforce the 40% per student percentage of spending instead of the current 10 to 12% per student. So it's an area that we need to work on. And the third competency I chose was to recognize the role of cultural differences in individual circumstances. I just touched on how recognizing cultural differences, either the way they are being ignored or embraced in the classroom, that can make or break our students' success. Cultural factors can influence the way a child learns or how they prefer to be taught. So I just basically was mentioning how in some cultures a community collaborative group learning is what is most revered, and in other communities it's that individualized learning that they put to high esteem. So just kind of talking to your parents, building that rapport through open communication, that's where that's very important, comes into play. Once they feel comfortable with you, they will open up and begin to express more about their family and kind of what their background is, and help you to figure out the best way to teach to their child. And how this course is going to influence the way I teach and nurture my future students. It has solidified the importance for our call to advocate and fight for the rights of students with special needs. And it has definitely reassured me that there are ample resources that will assist me in figuring out those best practices in order to get the best outcomes. I feel more confident in my ability to support each student using creative problem solving and a genuine goal for an inclusive classroom. This course has also encouraged me to stand up for what I believe, that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not an area that should be forgotten, put on the back burner, or erased completely. That DEI is the cornerstone of building workable communities that strengthen one another and encourage the overall growth of the community. This course has opened my eyes to the infinite possibilities when it comes to adaptations and accommodations in the classroom. I enjoyed researching the assistive technology options and will push hard for access to these solutions when needed. Down syndrome, a genetic condition where a person is born with an extra copy of chromosome 21. This can affect how their brain or body develop. First classroom adaptation I picked would be I would ensure that I have different types of writing utensil grippers for students with delayed fine motor skills. And adaptation number 2, I would utilize task analysis charts to break down the steps of an activity into smaller pieces. Visual cues as well to help absorb the information being given during class. 2 assistive technology devices. My first one is noise canceling headphones. Those can reduce background sounds and assist the child in focusing on the task at hand. And second is using an adaptive desk that can adjust to different heights or positions. It can be helpful in many learning situations. Children with Down syndrome have lower muscle tone, and these desks are designed to give extra support and eliminate fatigue from extended sitting. And 2 learning activities. I chose the sensory bin activity, and I would switch that out regularly according to the curriculum theme. It's important because it's an inclusive activity. All the children can participate, and that promotes a sense of community. My second one is dramatic play. In this activity, we would role play life skills such as learning how to grocery shop or pay for fast food. This will also switch out weekly based on our curriculum theme and students' interest. Autism, a lifelong neurodevelopmental disability that affects how people interact with and experience the world. It is a spectrum, so children can vary in their symptoms, strengths, and challenges. My first adaptation would be that I would have various types of lighting in the classroom, and for light-sensitive students, give them the opportunity to work in some low-light areas. My second adaptation is kind of along those same lines, but allowing the use of an overstimulation station or an individualized tent for times when a student needs that time away from the hustle and bustle of the classroom. 2 assistive technology devices. The first would be using a new standard keyboard, an NSK. I think that's beneficial to students that have sensory issues or developmental delays in motor skills. These keyboards are styled with fewer keys than traditional keyboards, which reduces the visual clutter for some students. It also arranges the keys in alphabetical order. That tends to be easier for some students compared to the traditional QWERTY keyboard. And the ergonomic design includes careful spacing of the command keys, larger size of those keys, and minimal pressure needed to engage that keyboard. And the second one is wiggle seats. Those are a great resource for children that need extra support with gentle micro movements that help with focus, posture, and sensory regulation. 2 classroom activities. I would have an abundant block and building area where we would have different styles of materials and supplementary pieces such as cars or people to add in. And then the second one is dinosaur stomps or car tracks, art that uses paint on the butcher paper. Hearing impaired, any degree of hearing loss from mild to profound. I would have the students sit near the front of the classroom area, wherever the speaker is. This will enable a clear view of the speaker's mouth and allow the teacher a good visual to look for understanding and comprehension. I would also have a set of LED button lights stuck to the front wall. I would push the red button for any emergencies or drills, and then hold up a sign that states the category of event, such as a fire drill, tornado drill, active shooter drill, etc. Some ideas for the other color buttons could be green for going outside, blue for time to go home, yellow for transition time. 2 assistive technology devices here would be a microphone and transmitter unit. Teacher wears this around their neck. It transmits their voice to the student's receiver and improves clarity and reducing background noise. And then I also was amazed by the speech-to-text software that will take spoken words from the teacher and show up as a written word on a screen. 2 classroom activities. I believe that music is important to bring into the classroom daily. Hearing impaired children utilize the vibrations of sound to hear the music. And also a nature scavenger hunt where the students would buddy up and locate the items together. That list will change according to what our classroom is currently studying or having an interest in as well. And in conclusion, this is my reference list.